Hi, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr., and welcome to another classic movie review. I'm talking about a classic from 1979 from director Walter Hill, The Warriors. It has a great late 70s, early 80s vibe. I really love the music score in this movie. It has that great synth sound that would be so recognizable throughout the 80s. And the story, though, it is pretty simple, a lot of fun. And so, yeah, gotta talk about this one. This is directed by Walter Hill, who I am a fan of because he made some of my favorite classics from back in the day, movies like Streets of Fire, 48 Hours, The Driver, Hard Times with Charles Bronson. So the story of this film takes place in New York, where you have all the gangs in town that meet at this very big gathering, and somebody is supposed to be given this speech. And the idea is basically there is a truce amongst all the gangs, and one guy is trying to unify everyone into one giant gang so that they're basically untouchable and unstoppable with the authorities. And one guy decides to take a shot and kill the guy that's talking, and like the leader gives this big speech. And when he goes down and all kinds of chaos ensues, the guy that fired the shot starts saying, "Hey, it was them," and they basically wrongfully blame the Warriors. And now we have everybody basically going after the Warriors gang, chasing them all through New York City. Playing the Warriors themselves in the film, we have actor Michael Beck as Swan, who is the leader. He is tough but has brains. You also got character actor James Remar as Ajax, who is a guy that kind of likes to challenge the leader every now and then. He's kind of a dick, but kind of a tough guy. He's good with his fists, so he's still an essential part of the gang. You also have David Harris as Cochise, Dorsey Wright as Cleon. You also got Marcelino Sanchez in the role of Rembrandt, who has a glorious afro in this film. We also have Tom Waits, who was in The Thing. He played Windows in that film. In this film, he plays the Fox. It's notorious that he and Walter Hill were button heads on this movie, so his character doesn't have the best fate because of that, which was a way to, I guess, get him out of the production to make things easier for the director. And you also have Tom McKitterick in the role of the cowboy, and in the role of Snow, you got Brian Tyler. The majority of the film takes place at night as the Warriors have to fight off rival gangs as they try to get to Coney Island through the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, trying to get through all kinds of situations as they're confronted by gangs like the Rogues, which is the main gang that is out to get them as they cruise around in this 1955 Cadillac hearse, gang that is being run by David Patrick Kelly's character Luther. He's really good in this movie. I understand they picked him because they saw him in a play where he played like this deranged hippie type, and so they thought he was perfect for this since at the time he had long hair, and really good delivery in the way he taunts the Warriors, especially in that classic scene. Warriors come out to play, and he's clicking these bottles together, and very much a classic movie moment. What really sets this movie apart from a lot of street gang movies from this time period is that it goes for a more surrealistic and comic book feel with the look of the gangs. A lot of gangs are very much in makeup and have all kinds of out there kind of outfits. Something else besides the costumes of the gangs that adds to the very otherworldly feel of the film is the music score by Barry Dvorak, who is the guy who did the music for The Exorcist 3, Private Benjamin, Night of the Creeps, Rolling Thunder, just to name a few of his movies that he worked on. And fantastic music score. It has that synth sound that's very recognizable with this decade, but very ahead of its time considering this is 1979 and he's using this very 80s sound. Well, it would become the sound of the 80s ultimately. And yeah, it's great in the film. Every now and then the movie throws in a little bit of humor throughout the proceedings, which is good to bring a little bit of levity to the tension and the situations. And the camaraderie between the warriors themselves is very enjoyable. And a lot of the humor comes out of that camaraderie, specifically with the character of Vermin, played by Terry Mikos, who I understand was very close to being played by Tony Danza. As the Warriors try to make their way through the city and they're fighting off all these rebel gangs and going through all these little battles, they come across a female by the name of Mercy who is with a different gang but ultimately ends up going along for the ride with the Warriors and becomes kind of a romantic interest with the Michael Beck character. The actress that plays the character of Mercy in the film, Deborah Van Valkenburg, is very good in the film. I really like her performance. She is tough but also vulnerable, and just by her being there adds a layer of complication to the story. And a nice little fun fact about the character of Mercy in the film is all of a sudden you'll notice she is wearing a jacket, and the character's reason for wearing the jacket is that the cops are looking for a girl in a pink top because that's what she wears in the film. But I guess when they were making the movie during production, she broke her wrist and she was wearing a cast, and so the jacket covers that up. As the Warriors try to make their way on foot through the city trying to get to safety to Coney Island, and they have to stop for all these little battles with all the rival gangs that are trying to stop them, there are some very good action scenes and fight scenes that take place. One very memorable one where you got the character played by James Remar, Ajax, taking on a bunch of the Baseball Fury and their gang. And it's a very memorable little action and fight scene, very well choreographed. All the little bits of action are very well done, actually. And a very nice touch to the proceedings is the voice of a radio DJ that we hear every now and then. When I saw John Wick Chapter 4, I realized where that came from because it's taken right out of The Warriors. Reports of where they've been seen, and she has a great radio voice. Anybody that remembers this actress will remember her from Blank Man. If you're a fan of that Damon Wayans comedy from 1994, she played the grandmother to Blank Man and his brother in that film. I understand the director's cut is only about a minute longer, and the introduction of the film is a little different because we have a little bit of a glimpse of what inspired the story. Sol Yurick based his story on this Greek story of this general and these mercenaries that after this battle were really far from home, and basically the same situation as the film. They're far from home, they're trying to get home, only they're trying to get to the sea. Warriors are trying to get to Coney Island. Another very significant change from the theatrical cut to the director's cut is in certain transitions of one scene to another, it looks like you're looking at a splash page right out of a comic book, and it gives the movie kind of distinctive feel and it looks really cool, and I don't really have a problem with it since I have no attachment to the theatrical cut, and so for me it just adds a bit of flair. 1979's The Warriors, I give it 3 stars. This is a late 70s gem that you should definitely check out if you're into 70s cinema, and if you're like into gang movies or anything like that, give it a watch. I think you'll enjoy it. This is my copy of the DVD of the Ultimate Director's Cut from director Walter Hill. And yeah, pretty cool little poster, pretty cool cover there. Don't know if this is the old school cover, but this is the cover for the DVD from 2005, and it's awesome. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, if you're into movies, if you're into this kind of thing, hit the bell, become a subscriber. Please don't forget to comment and share, like, it always helps out. And please don't forget to look out for the next classic movie review. For those of you that keep supporting the channel, I appreciate your support. Thank you very much for watching. Everybody take care. Peace out. God bless.